Hello, Jess Too Good here. Today I'm not doing a Lego video, but rather a Connects Family Guy video. Why am I doing this? These look pretty terrible, honestly, and I've always thought they looked terrible. They were released in 2014, but now these mystery blind bags just came out this year in 2017. So we're going to be unpacking all of them and doing a review of the series as a whole. It's such a weird series to have toys on, you know, Family Guy. It's really seen as an adult show, and a lot of the humor is for adults, in my opinion. But the design for these are a lot, I guess, silkier than like a Lego blind bag. But let's see who our first figure is. Oh, it's Chris. You see, I didn't get these randomly because unlike Lego, Connects actually puts the codes to each on the back. Now, I didn't know the specific codes, but rather I saw and got 6 different ones. So let's hope that means 6 different figures, and there's only 6 in the series. Either way, this looks horrible. Oh my gosh, I was expecting it to be just a little bit better, but wow. Oh my gosh, this is pretty terrible. If it's printing on the eyes, and I don't know, man. Other than that, I mean, the body, I guess, is okay, and the legs are okay, but it's just like the eye printing that seems totally off, and the sculpting, I guess, is fine. Now, it's very different from a Lego minifigure. I've never had Connects figures before, so quite surprised. They have necks on their heads, and you can see that their legs are literally just attached by this one peg, just like this. So that is it for Chris Griffin. The thing with Connects is I've always sort of wanted their Mario stuff because they seemed cool, but now seeing the quality of these Family Guy ones, at least based off of Chris, I don't know if they'll really be worth it because their painting might be a little bit off. Either way, our second character is Lois. Here's Lois, and she looks a lot darker than Chris, but the design for this just looks very chubby, and I mean, in the show she's a very skinny lady, so it doesn't translate well. She looks a lot older than she does in the show, and there's some weird spots like right here. There's some weird chippings of plastics like on the side right there, and on this part right here there's just a weird kind of chip. I don't know, man, these do not translate well. They almost look like pirated toys, you know, like bootleg toys from China. Ah, man, that's kind of disappointing. Another thing I don't like is that they don't come with stands, so they keep falling over, but let's see. And I only said it was kind of disappointing because it's almost what I expected. It's basically what I worried. Now, companies like Mega Bloks I see do have good quality figures, so it's not just every non-brick company that isn't Lego, or sorry, every brick company that isn't Lego. It really just seems to be Connects at this point. Now, I haven't really gotten any of the other ones, but this is Brian. Now we have Brian the dog. You could see that he is smaller than the other 2 figures by actually a lot. I guess that's kind of accurate. But what I don't like is, first off, besides the printing, which looks super weak, this head just won't go down all the way. It's like stuck. I don't know if that's every piece from here or if that's just this one version of Brian that I got to my own. Also, it seems like the legs are almost folding off right there. You can see it's folding too much to the right side. Again, these are just very low quality, and I was hoping for it to be just a little bit better. The tail right here is actually attached. I think they use the same piece with Yoshi, if I'm not mistaken, but that's it for Brian. It looks like he's forever looking down instead of having his eyes centered. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay, we got Peter. So here is Peter, of course, the main character from the show. I don't mind the printing on this one so much because it reminds me of the original seasons of Family Guy when it was a little bit more crude. And that's actually, it looks exactly like it, that's the printing and everything. What I do mind is look at the color of his head. Now look at the color on his body. It does not match at all. This is like a pinkish. This is more of a tan. And it just looks terrible. That's some really bad quality control. Now, the design for his printing and everything, I guess he's the most elaborate in printing because he has some back kind of belt printing and even a little bit of the back part of his shirt. But that is it for Peter Griffin. All right, so far so bad. At least I'm getting all of them, it seems like. And this one is, oh, it's Meg. So this is Meg. She's actually the chase figure, so she's quite hard to get. Now, again, the painting on here is just pretty bad. Look at the shoes. It's like hand painted. It doesn't even look painted all the way. There's some chips on the back side, and I don't know, man. This does not work out. At least her colors, though, are the same on the head and the hands. It doesn't look odd like Peter Griffin, but the printing does look a little bit off. I don't know. It does not work out. These are just terrible so far. Oh my gosh. So that is it for Meg. Alright, lastly, let's see who's inside. It has to be Stewie. And, yep, Stewie. See, there's such a lack of consistency with these because if you see, Stewie has just a regular head that his body has kind of a neck attachment already, while the others have their necks attached to their head. Because of that, I can't even get it all the way down. You can see that this is like the farthest I could get it down. Again, the printing's very weak. The painting, some of it looks like print. These look like paint. And other than that, I mean, the body for Stewie is actually probably the best out of all of them. It looks pretty fine. The painting and printing and everything on there doesn't look too bad. I mean, there's some paint kind of missing from the back, but it's really the head that ruins it. Now, the head for him is more of like a softer rubber, while the head for these guys, like Chris, is more of a plastic. I have to say, the material in general, it feels very weird, because sometimes it feels chalky, other times it feels like a smooth plastic, but overall it just feels very cheap. So that's it for Stewie Griffin. Let's go into the series as a whole. So overall, the designs of the Family Guy characters do not translate well into Connects. A lot of it is because of the materials they use and the quality control, where some of their bodies just don't represent the skin color on their bodies. It just doesn't look like a good matchup. A lot of it is just printing. I mean, look at Brian's small little eyes facing downward, or the paint jobs on some of these shoes. It just looks terrible. And in my opinion, it's a higher quality building block brand. I'm not just talking about Lego. I think Mega Bloks could probably knock this out pretty well. I've seen their Futurama figures, which I think look pretty fantastic. I'm like, dang, I'm tempted to get those. Some of them are just the molds in general. For example, Lois just does not look like Lois from the show because of how chunky she is here. It's just not a really good molding choice. And it's just confusing when some of them don't even have a neck, like Stewie, but the other few do have a neck. But that causes problems like not having the head go all the way down because of how tight that hole is. Gosh, somebody's going to take that out of context. So yeah, I don't recommend these. These are kind of funny. Like I said, they almost remind me of like bootleg kind of products that you would see on like a little gag Twitter account or whatever like that. I actually really like that bootleg toys Twitter account. Sometimes I retweet their stuff, but that's really it for the Family Guy Connects. Don't recommend these at all. $4 at your local Walmart. I believe they're Walmart exclusive for now. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.